that have supported my group, just incredible ways from the very beginning. These have been there, the foundation, and it's just, I can't say enough. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa. She can share her slides. Okay, thank you.
Hand it over, Mary. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again, as Mary said, for the opportunity to be here in this wonderful inaugural Lupus and Black Conference in beautiful UK. We've been here just a few days, so we are in love with the country. Now we've already decided that we'll be back. I want to thank EJ again and all the conference organizers and every single person in this room who has truly committed your life and your work to advancing health all over this planet. And I'm so very proud to share this journey with Mary. This is really her moment. And she's so humble and she says so little, but that's her way. The work that she's doing is so big because it is what got recognized and noticed. And that's why we're both here today. So I really want to acknowledge that she is the warrior in this room. Again, my name is Lisa Peyton, founder, CEO, and president of the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness, where we work every day to empower a generation of well Black women. That's what our shirts need, and you can see them all over Wisconsin and all over the country. And we're going to send some here and have some over in Africa too. And our mission is very simple. It's to energize, mobilize, and support Black women to transform their health and their lives through education, advocacy, a massive amount of support, and powerful partnerships. We've been leading this work for nearly 2 decades, touching over 10,000 women each year alongside their families and communities to transform healthcare in our communities. And I know I'm going to run out of time today. It's got 7 pages of notes. And Mary knows I can be long-winded, so I'm going to do my best in real time to summarize. But like most of you in the room today, my work in this health arena and Mary's work started with a story, and my story began with the loss of my mother, Peyton. She died on May 22nd, 2006 at the age of 64 from congestive heart failure in a very dark IC room in a hospital in my home city of Richmond, Virginia. And as you can imagine, this was a devastating loss. She was our rock. I heard EJ say that yesterday about her dear mother, who I'm now adopting as my mother too. Because you were so warm and welcoming me. And she literally, in her one lifespan, changed the trajectory of our entire family standing in this life, in this world, and will be for generations to come. So I honor her. She is who I honor every day, every morning, and my father when I wake. And when I lay my head on my pillow. In the weeks and months following her death, I reflected on the many years I grew up shampooing hair in her hair salon in downtown Richmond, and I recalled the love and the care and the support that she provided to every single woman, every single one of her customers. But also remember deeply the devastating losses that I witnessed in my mother's hair salon as a teenage girl, including my paternal aunts, all 3 of them. Along with dozens of women that I can name for you, and I talk about this in my speeches everywhere. Women in their 60s, 50s, 40s, and even 30s who were dying from what I call the stress of living while Black in the United States, dying from mostly preventable illnesses like cancer, stroke, heart attack, diabetes complications, and the like. And that is an uncomfortable but necessary conversation. I really appreciate your comments this morning, Dr. Cruz and many others. We know that racism is a public health threat and it is directly rooted and tied to the experiences we're all talking about in this room globally. And we need to recognize that there's one source to this problem, and our collaborating about how we solve it is the crucial thing that we need to take from this room today. Because what I came to realize is that my mother's experience was not the exception, but the norm. And we were talking back here as sisters to say, we got one plight in this world as Black women, and it's to craft this code for ourselves and our families, because we've got the same issue that we're challenged with, no matter what continent we're on. My mother's death represented a disturbing trend in Wisconsin and across the United States, where Black women, despite our our income, our education, our family composition. And I don't know if y'all read, but Black women in America are amongst the most educated in the world. But it does not protect us from dying from disproportionately from health disparities. It doesn't matter, our money doesn't protect us, our education doesn't protect us. And that pattern means we die every day at alarming rates and at far younger ages than our peers from mostly preventable and treatable illnesses like heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and lupus. And in fact, Wisconsin has historically ranked among the top 5 states consistently in the United States for the worst health outcomes for Black women. Indeed, health, birth, and socioeconomic outcomes. And that's the cycle we won't accept. And if we compare these issues across countries and continents, we will see the same pattern. So, that's a lot. We've heard all the data that's very heavy, and it's repetitive data, and that should speak to us. What is this pattern that is impacting Black women, Black people, Black families, Black nations, or wherever Black people exist? And where I say that I'm working fast. How do we address that? What does it mean? But in that, listening to that heavy data, there is opportunity in the struggle and in the losses to create something powerful and something new. And that's where the story of the foundation and the Lupus support group begins. Solutions on how we move Black women in our communities from struggle to power. With women like me, like Mary, like EJ, Selena, Safina, Tadimbe, and so many others in the room and beyond this room whose stories turned into movements that are changing the landscape of health and literally saving lives. So here I'm going to try to summarize this. This is a picture of our wellness ambassadors, just a few of them. They are now in 27 countries, 27 states across the United States, and 7 countries. South Africa is missing from this list. And that's what's fundamental to our movement. They represent our strategy of health improvement. So it's our belief that change begins with the individual and rolled up in collective effort. And in our case, women who are empowered to share their stories. Bimbe, you really inspired me in talking about your work and your belief in storytelling, because we believe in the exact same thing. Women who share their stories, who are supported and trained to use their voices as advocates for themselves, for their families, for their communities, who are surrounded in a community of support, where we aid them in addressing their social determinants of health needs through our other programming and services, while breaking isolation, building community, building sisterhood, and using that to propel power and change, and who are simultaneously mobilized as a collective to shape, demand, create change in their personal and systemic healthcare experiences, and to advance healthcare justice. And Mary was our first wellness ambassador, by the way. When I launched this work in 2012, she was there with me to say, whatever you do in this city in which I was born, I'm gonna be right there beside you to do it. And we've come full circle. I'm here with her today as a result, and that's such a great honor, because she is one of the reasons that I stand in this work and have been able to persist. Our theory of change, I'll breeze through, is very, very busy, but here it is. Black women at the center, focusing them, centering them, supporting them through education in all of these areas that you recognize. This is the training, the preparation, the support. Also teaching them the skill of self-advocacy and system advocacy, connecting them with resources and partnerships, and mobilizing them to generate health equity change. That is our cycle, and we know it works. It mobilized me, it mobilized Mary, and I think this is the undercurrent of what mobilizes each one of the women in this room who are driving change where they are. And that brings me back to me and Mary. And of course, my papers are all over the place because I'm flinging them. Brings me full circle to how the foundation and Mary's journey came together, launching the cycle that I just described that has led Mary and I to being here today. In 2014, 2 years after I established the foundation, Mary expressed, Lisa, I want to establish the Lupus support group. I don't know if I can do it. I'm worried and a little nervous about it. And I said, Mary, you've been organizing and leading with me, beside me for 2 years. You already know how to do it. Just do it. And that's what she did. She just did it. And we were so grateful to provide encouragement and infrastructure and resource. So the presence of our organization and ability to wrap around Mary's support space, staff support, and other pieces that facilitated the group and happening and holding it 12 years consistently, unbroken, with her and her partner Stephanie, who could not be here today, has led to this wonderful juncture to now have the opportunity to link across the sea with partners who are already accelerating ideas about how we link together and drive more change. So a few things I want to leave you with today. There's things that we must do, and we have a formula for it, and we just need to repeat it. We must recognize that women in communities most impacted and closest to the issues are the most qualified to inform and help shape the solutions. Second, we must grow the capacity and the infrastructure of trusted organizations who can create the solid underfoot to allow this work to flourish and grow, and support the leaders who are doing the work like Selena and Mary and so many others. And third, collaboration is the answer to so many of the challenges that we share, that have been talked about since this morning in this room. As Black women, advocates, researchers, providers, clinicians, whether we're in the UK, USA, Nigeria, Caribbean, or elsewhere, we are facing and addressing the same challenges. And we share extraordinary resilience, wisdom, and opportunity to shift the course of local and global health together. And that's what I hope we take from this room today. This work and this movement for better care and outcomes for lupus is under more risk and more threat than ever before. And I don't know if you all are watching what's happening in the United States, but we're fighting tooth and nail against the systemic effort to undo, defund, erase, silence, and dismantle equity-based work that is battling disparities, this vital work that we're doing in the room. And I don't know what's happening in the UK, but I feel that brewing here as well. And I hear about resources that are drying up, the inability to fund things that we know work. That is serious, and it undercuts everything that we're aiming to do. And we know that lives are at stake if this work cannot continue. So, we're gonna skip a video that we wanted to share, but we'll send it at another time, and to just give you. It's 2 minutes.
I was drowning in the silence, no air left to breathe. Every shadow felt like something chasing after me. Broken mirrors in my mind, couldn't recognize my face, but a whisper in the dark said, you're not erased. Every scar is just a story I survived. Every tear was proof I'm still alive. The storm couldn't kill me, no, it made me rise through the fire, through the rain. I found my light. I was shaking, I was bending, I was almost gone, but I held on. I was stronger than the pain I used to feel. Got a heart no fear could ever steal. Yeah, the storm tried to break me endlessly, but the storm couldn't kill me. The storm couldn't kill me.
All right, that was Amaka. It was very important to Mary that we share this. Amaka is from Nigeria. She attended Mary's inaugural Lupus Awareness Day celebration, where EJ and Safinat were in attendance by Zoom. And that has extended relationship and connection across borders, Sisterhood Without Borders. And that's a point that we really want to stick in everyone's head today. What happens in this room, beyond this room today, as we think about where we go from here? To close, change begins with our stories. Behind every statistic is a woman, a person. Behind every data point is a family. Behind every disparity is a lived experience that deserves to be heard. Stories reveal what statistics alone cannot. They build trust, they take down barriers, and ultimately they improve outcomes. And this is why we believe that women like Mary, Selena, Sabinat, and EJ living with lupus are not simply recipients of care. They are the experts. They are the teachers and the innovators. They are the critical partners. They are closest and best to the solution, and we need to replicate that over and over and over again, as evidenced by the great work that's being shared here today. It is effective and it needs to be sustained. When we elevate these voices, these women, the stories in their work as we are today, we create stronger science, stronger systems, more responsive and equitable systems, and healthier communities. And that is how we arrive at a world where lupus is no longer a threat. Mary and I look forward to partnering with all of you in this room today to continue this great work and to eradicate lupus as we build a world where Black women and all people can flourish. Thank you.